What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We are down here, good girl. Good girl. Hopefully this thing is on. It's not clinking next to anything. Look at, honey, we're going to get this microphone right one day. One day. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment. Let me know you stopped by. Girl, we are down here. So, have y'all gone to see The Color Purple? I heard it was phenomenal. I heard it was really good. I haven't gone to see it yet. You know, I don't really do musicals. That's why I've never took to Tyler Perry's plays. Like, I remember when Tyler Perry's plays used to be like on DVD and stuff like that, and people would sell them and stuff. I never got into them. I just don't do musicals. Like, I mean, The Wiz, I could, I might. It depends on the song. I might fast forward through the singing part. Some of y'all say y'all fast forward through the singing parts in musicals. So I'm gonna see. Like, I want to see it. I want to see it. But everybody has been saying that it's been really good. You know, just women and women and women and women in the audience. People are giving their commentary, what they thought about the film. Well, not sure why Boosie Badass took his 9-year-old daughter to go see The Color Purple, but he did. And he came out and he said that he had to leave the theater because it felt like lesbianism was being pushed. It was the agenda. Lesbianism was the agenda, honey.
Baby girl said that we was gay, girl. We was kissing lesbians, girl.
What about your lesbian relationship, bitch?
And since there was no man in sight around the lesbians, we don't like it. They only like lesbians when when they're involved. Otherwise, they don't like the lesbians. They be telling the lesbians, you ain't had no good dick. That's why you a lesbian. That's how ignorant these niggas be sound. Oh, they be so ignorant, child. Oh, they so ignorant. So as ignorant is, as ignorant does, Boosie got down there and, he is like the person who always comes out with his opinion about anything dealing with the Black LGBTQIA community. Yeah, and has all of these moral guidelines and moral values and standards when it comes to the LGBTQIA plus Black queer community. Okay, I'm just gonna say Black queer community, okay? And the girls, of course, are getting on Boosie because he has a history of always putting his mouth on LGBTQIA issues. A lot of the kids and family and cousins have they've decided that Boosie might have some things he's working on himself, and because he resides and is enmeshed in the toxic version of masculinity that is performed so effortlessly by Black men, cisgender, straight, heterosexual, and I use heterosexual in quotes because we just had a conversation the other day, but I digress. So, of course, he had something to say about it. I want to read his tweet. But our good girl, T.S. Madison, came down and wrapped his ass up and sent him back. And of course, he responded to T.S. Madison. From my understanding, I think Boosie has a daughter who is lesbian. And he claims to employ gay people. So it's odd that you could say I don't agree with your lifestyle as if your agreement or disapproval meant any fucking thing. That's one thing y'all got to understand. Your approval or disapproval doesn't mean a fucking thing. Nobody needs your approval or disapproval about the way that they live their lives. As long as they're not hurting anyone or themselves, don't nobody need to say a goddamn word about it. But y'all have an agenda to push. And when you see something that's outside of the agenda, you stand up, and then the rest of the degenerate fucks stand up with him. They come together. Right? Like I tell y'all all the time, y'all some dick worshipers, right? And I usually be talking to the girls, right? Because that's by design. But I also forget that these niggas, they worship dick the same way y'all do. Yeah. And so every time one of these degenerate imbeciles stands up and says something disgusting or says something, anything, you automatically defend them. Even though when you actually read what this person said, they're wrong. But like I said in the comments, everything else y'all look over. Y'all and I'm so glad that Madison, she just put it all into words. You wanted to get up and leave because there was a lesbian scene, right? Even though don't you have songs about lesbians kissing in the cars and all this other stuff in the back seat to whatever the damn lyrics are. So, but when a man isn't in the center of the lesbian act, then they don't like it, right? I want to read what he said. We're about to pull up in the little area right here so we can read Boosie's tweet. And I really love Madison. She wrapped it up, and she wrapped up the black community, the so-called black community. Because when we talk about the black community, we're just speaking plain, right? It's 2024, age of Aquarius.
And this is the age of truth, and the truth doesn't need to be scared of the fact that people tell lies.
We're just speaking plainly. So, y'all know that the people can do everything else, but if the person is queer, oh no, what are we doing? We're pushing an agenda. Madison said what needed to be said. Ain't no black community, right? We know ain't no black community. We call it the so-called black community, right? What are we doing here? Let's get the lighting together. It's a little bright over here. All right, so hopefully this works out. All right, so I had to walk out of this Color Purple movie, and two other older couples walked out also because I had my little girls with me, and it seemed like a rainbow emoji love story. Good acting, but whoever wrote the script, is pushing a narrative. As a parent, I will not let my little girl watch this film. Now he has all of these high morals and guidelines for what his daughter can and cannot witness, right? Let's put this up here. Even though the book was written in released in 1982. I was a little girl. The movie barely touched on it. We got a little peck on the lips, right? The book is a little bit more detailed than what we saw in the Steven Spielberg film. I'm gonna put it this way. I think I have to put it this way. That's where it is. It's because I'm left-handed. I put it on the opposite way, but it's supposed to be going this way. We'll get it together. So that part of the story where Celie and Suge Avery, or what's her name? Is her name Suge Avery? Yeah. Where they kiss, amongst other things, right? I remember watching that movie as a young girl, a little girl, and I didn't even, I don't, when they kissed, I wasn't even like, I think what I got from that, what I interpreted as a little girl watching that, I didn't come from no family, especially on my maternal side, where there was like an intolerance to queer people. Wasn't even, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, right? I didn't. And when I saw that, my interpretation was always that I'm going to show this young woman what it actually feels like to be loved and protected. I'm going to show her what it actually feels like, because her entire life she has been left out there, abused, mishandled, mistreated. And I'm going to show her, I'm going to give her a glimpse into how love really feels. That's my interpretation of that moment. Y'all let me know what your interpretation of that moment was. Just to show you love, not even from a woman, not even from a man. I'm just going to show you, I'm going to exhibit what you have never known. I'm going to show you that. That's what I got from it. So it's always been a part of the story. So his quote unquote outrage is fake, because that has always been a part of the story. It's not something that someone inserted into the film to push an agenda, where the characters before were male and female and now they're two women. And so now you feel like an agenda. The story is being changed to push an agenda. No, this has always been the story. It's always been the story. Then he comes out and he says, why, if someone doesn't agree with the rainbow narrative that's being pushed, why do y'all say that the person who doesn't agree is rainbow, or that's bullying? Okay, so what he's trying to say, let me interpret what he's trying to say. If you don't agree, if someone says they don't agree with the rainbow narrative, which is, it's not a narrative, it's if they don't agree with the rainbow narrative that's being pushed, why do y'all say that that person who doesn't agree is gay? The reason why people say that is because you seem to be preoccupied with the LGBTQIA plus community. You seem to have a preoccupation with men having sex with men, with trans women. You have I don't know what it is. And everybody's like, what could it be? Why are you so worried about when people are just, just living their lives and you got something to say? Why do you have something to say about it? We have rights as parents to say it's not cool for a 7 and 9-year-old to watch this, but it's cool for your nephews and sons to be SA'd by a grown woman procured by you so that they can learn how to FUCK. Yeah, this is the same person. This is the same person who has all these values and morals, but paid a grown woman to rape his sons and nephews in hopes to make sure that they are what? Straight, and they learn how to FUCK. You're not going to tell me there's not a straight agenda when you have grown men putting little boys in situations, so much so that when you ask groups of black men how they came into their boyhood, from boyhood to quote unquote manhood, they were sexually assaulted. And these men don't even understand that they have been assaulted. And they look at it as a rite of passage. That's how low down in the gutter the mentality is. But now you have morals. We have to protect our children. Were you protecting your sons from the whores that you hired to rape them? Is that how you protect your children? We have rights as parents to protect our children as much as we can. I have no problem at all with gay people. My granddad was a preacher, Southern Baptist, and I'm trying to raise my kids with the same beliefs and respect. Yeah, and those pastors and bishops and preachers and deacons and reverends and what else other name that they have for these niggas who stand up in front of mostly women teaching some patriarchal bullshit, in addition to abusing the women and the little girls. So you telling me that your family was affiliated with the church doesn't tell me nothing, but they might have been more abusive to young girls and women. That's all you telling me. And y'all don't even realize the confinements that you are enforcing are rooted in the illusion of white supremacy. You don't even realize it. You don't even realize it. You have completely assimilated to their ideas to the point where you will throw your children out because they're queer. And you will what do you fucking hypocrites say? Hate the sinner. No, don't hate the sinner, hate the sin. I don't understand how gay people or any person in the LGBTQ community, I don't see how they follow Christianity or any Abrahamic father God religion where they tell you going to hell because you gay. I don't understand how y'all follow that. I don't get it. And that's why so many queer people go through like this internal battle, because they've been raised up in a church that tells them that who they are as a person, they can be sent to hell for just being who they are. And then you have men within the same community who they say, when the statistics say that the girls, there's a percentage of girls who are abused before they're 18 by someone that they know, a family member, a bishop, a pastor, a preacher, a reverend, whatever the fuck you want to call these snake oil salesmen. Don't talk about a man or God, girl, shut the fuck up. I'm just trying to raise my kids with the same beliefs. That's disgusting. T.S. Madison came back and said, she got his ass together. Maddie said everything that needed to be said, and I know a lot of people got hit with some strays. I know a lot of people got hit with some strays. Hold on, let me go. Let me see. Okay, here it goes. Oh, here we go. Girl, Cat Williams was down there talking to Shannon Sharp. All right, here is the post. It says, so, little Boosie, you sat there with your look at, let me tell you how Madison wrapped his ass up. So, little Boosie, you sat there with your daughter while Celie's daddy took her second child that he fathered and gave it to the pastor and his wife. You sat there with your daughter while Mr. came and bought her from her daddy at 14 years old. You sat there with your daughter while Mr. enslaved Celie to cook and clean his nasty house with his children. You sat there with your daughter and watched Mr. beat, sexually destroy, and drag Celie all over the floor. You sat there with your daughter and watched Mr. bring his side chick to the house with Celie. But you got up to leave when you saw Celie finally find love and compassion and some sort of temporary relief from Mr.'s prison. Then you try to come to social media and bring the "what about the kids, man" campaign you've been on and attempt to use God to justify you and the people who stand with you. Tuh. And they call us delusional. Sir, the character you play in real life is Mr., the daddy, the pastor, and all the other men who abuse Celie in that movie, and have the nerve to finally be concerned about what a kiss would do to influence your daughter. This is truly some intervention needed in your life to sort out those homosexual demons you've been fighting. Hashtag shift the concern this year. Hashtag 2024. Wrapped his ass up. Wrap his ass up. You sat there and watched this woman be abused, but it wasn't until she found love in another woman is when you got to get up and walk away. Ain't that crazy? That's why the movie caused so much stir in the beginning. Spike Lee, John Singleton, all of them. If they had if you had left this story to be told by a black man, all of the men in the damn story would have been made into heroes. They would not have told the real story because their identities are so attached and tethered to one another that if one person misbehaves, they all stand beside him because they have that. The only thing they see is his identity. That's the only thing they see. They don't want you to tell the truth. They don't want you to quote unquote air your dirty laundry. They want you to abide by the old rule that kept abuse in the home. What goes on in this house stays in this house. That, in other words, that is coded language for don't you dare tell anyone about all of the abuse, whatever form of abuse you're witnessing in this goddamn house. Don't you tell a motherfucking soul. You suffer in goddamn silence. And when black women stand up and finally start telling these stories, it shatters the fantasy, the fantastical delusion that straight black men have of themselves. And they want you to agree to. And then when Boosie comes out and misgenders T.S. Madison, all of y'all are in the comments thinking that part of it is funny instead of actually dissecting what Madison said and say, you know what, that's crazy that all of these awful, horrible things happened to Celie in the movie, but it wasn't until an expression of love between two women came across the screen that he was so disgusted that he had to get up and watch out. He wasn't disgusted about the abuse. You know why? Because that's where they reside. They think that shit is normal. They think it's okay. And then that's why they tell you, oh, y'all need to behave like your grandmas. Secretly, the grandmothers and the great aunties are telling the girls, yes, I dealt with this for however long I've dealt with this, but don't do that. There's no coincidence why fathers and mothers and uncles and members of families tell girls growing up, have your own, because they all know without telling you that these niggas are not reliable. They're not really your protectors and your provider. But we're going to use this book where a man sits up in front of a crowd full of mostly women and teach you this shit. We're going to teach you how to endure abuse. We're going to teach you how to stay with a man who harms you. And if you find love or a resemblance of love in the same gender, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. I said, Madison is right. Black folks overlook all of the degenerate black men and black women who are terrorizing the black community. But if they're queer, oh, now it's a problem. By and large, y'all are sick, demented, and stuck. And just like the movie says, a girl child ain't safe and in a family of men. And guess what? Apparently, the boy children aren't safe either because they got uncles and daddies like Boosie who will pay a woman to rape them so they can make sure that they're straight and they can make sure that they've learned how to F-U-C-K. Yeah. He came back and said, what did he say? He tagged T.S. Madison. You seem offended because the truth hurts. Laughing emoji. The movie had great acting, but it's not appropriate for my little girls to watch. And what's crazy is no one is saying, I mean, there's people in the comments saying, you're the same dude that had the boys in your family assaulted by grown women. Right? You're the same dude. But y'all think it's funny to laugh at him misgendering Madison and want to completely ignore all the things that she said. because she was right on the money. And I know a lot of motherfuckers caught stray bullets because you are more offended by the love between same sex or same gender loving people than you are about the abuse that straight black women and queer black women receive from their families and community. A little girl can be abused in her home and y'all will not say a motherfucking word. As a matter of fact, y'all will make adjustments around the man or the woman who is abusing the people in the family. You will make adjustments. Go put something on. Uncle so-and-so is on his way over here. Go put something on. Why the fuck is Uncle so-and-so around anybody if everybody got to put their clothes on around Uncle so-and-so? Why do you think in families, mothers and fathers tell their daughters, don't sit on any man's lap. I don't give a fuck if he's your brother, if he's your cousin, your older cousin, don't sit in nobody's lap. Why do you think all of these adjustments have to be made for little girls in families? Because you niggas are sick. And what's even sicker is that if that little girl grows up and she's a lesbian, y'all will kick her out. Or even better, y'all will kick her out if she says, hey, so-and-so is abusing me. Now she's fast. Now she's grown. Now you got to get out. Y'all don't realize how your religion, he mentioned religion, sets you all up as women who follow this religion that is so male-centered and male-forgiving. These men are terrorizing y'all, and y'all forgive them. Y'all see the good. Y'all give them the benefit of the doubt. But let them be queer, and y'all want to kick them out. Y'all want to put them on the street. You want to reject them to the point where they have to go find other families. They have to call someone else mother because y'all didn't reject these people. And they have to create their own families. But while they're being abused, y'all ignore it. Y'all overlook it. Y'all dismiss it. Y'all tell them it's not what y'all gaslight them. Madison touched a lot of people with that. Y'all look over all the abuse. And this black woman is dealing with all this abuse. But it's the love that she's receiving from another woman that makes you want to get up and leave. Ain't that some shit? And they don't even see it like that. And as soon as you say something, that's why they didn't like the film. They don't like the images of themselves and what it looks like. Because a lot of their granddaddies participated, bought their grandmothers. Hello. A lot of your great grandmothers, your great great grandmothers were purchased and sold and traded off to men who abused them when they were teenagers. Go look at your ancestry. Go look and see how old your grandmother was, your great grandmother and great great grandmother. Go look and see how old she was when she got married. Y'all don't want to see that. And that's the problem. Y'all want to ignore it. Y'all literally, and I don't know what, y'all literally made a tape of R. Kelly raping a little girl and made a tape over and over again and distributed child pornography throughout the community, selling it in barber shops and beauty shops around the United States. And there's still women and men to this day saying that girl was fast. Y'all are sick. Y'all sick. And then what's even sicker is that you do all these things in the name of God. Girl, you do all this shit in the name of God. In the name of God. Ain't that some crazy shit? He says, the movie had great acting, but it's not appropriate for my little girls to watch. And it's not just me, transsexual Maddie, that feels this way, shaking my head. Go read all the comments across social media about the film. It's a lesbian classic, but good film. And just because someone don't agree, that makes them homosexual. So everyone who disagrees is gay. He puts a rainbow emoji. Maybe you're mad at yourself. You've been mad at me since I told that TRANNY swimmer, get out of the damn pool. Leave me alone, my nigga. And you know how many people are in the comments, they just think it's so funny that Boosie said to Madison, my nigga. Y'all think it's so funny. Y'all think it's so funny. Madison came back and said, beloved Boosie official. She tagged him. I'm not in any way angered at you, sir. There is no accountability ever taken for any of the contributions you add to the demise of our community. Our community is as in Black people. You had folks agreeing with you because they are just as misguided in their thoughts as you. You again sat with your daughter through all the parts dehumanizing and demeaning a Black woman, sex slave a Black woman, and beat a Black woman. And the moment she finds love from a woman, from up under Black men's abuse, it's too much. And now it becomes a gay agenda. I shouldn't expect much from a man who paid grown women to sexually assault his teenage son and nephew, thinking that it makes them a man. As long as you are, it makes them and you a mister. I shouldn't expect much from a man who paid grown women to sexually assault his teenage son and nephew, thinking that it makes them, quote unquote, a man. No, sir, that makes them and you a mister. As long as you speak on making our existence as LGBT people an agenda to hurt kids, I'll be right here to remind you of your part in damaging kids. Be blessed, beloved. That's what I'm saying. It's like, how you don't need, and nobody seems to see the hypocrisy. There's some people who do. Let's read some comments. TS is draining. That man is entitled to his opinion. Listen, everybody is entitled to an opinion, right? It's like assholes. Everybody got an opinion. But when your opinion can cause harm to people, other people have a right to react to your harmful messaging, to your harmful opinion. This nigga who had his sons raped was just celebrated on the hip hop turns 50 stage. Celebrated. That tells you the mind of. And music affects culture. So while y'all are celebrating a man who had his sons and nephews assaulted, and the large majority of straight black men see that being assaulted by a grown woman is a rite of passage, and they kiki and laugh about it all the time. That man is entitled to his opinion. Every time someone doesn't agree with his community, he want to do the most. And then it's women, it's black women out here misgendering, doing the most, when Maddie is actually speaking up for your stupid ass. That's the crazy part. She's speaking up against violence against black women, and y'all in the comments laughing at a nigga who doesn't like you. Wouldn't even piss on you if you were on fire, black woman, straight black woman. Y'all be mad at Boosie for having an opinion, but don't be mad at all these trans women for disrespecting real women every day. Honey, these niggas is killing y'all every 5.5 hours, and you worried about a trans woman? You got your priorities fucked up. Because guess who? The same threat you have is the same threat they have. A fucking man. A straight black man at that. Yeah, that the same threat you have is the same threat they have. And yet and still you worried about somebody. Girl, real women. Girl, you real women is getting your ass beat every fucking day, killed every fucking day, and you worried about trans women. Your priorities are in the wrong place. In the wrong place. Another woman, I love Boosie. Boosie is Mr. That's why he didn't see any of the violence in the movie as inappropriate. It's normal to him. So sexual abuse is okay. He didn't address the whole point of T.S. Madison's statement. Yeah, he didn't address what he did to his son and his nephew. He didn't address that part. Because what you did was deplorable, and your ass needs to be in jail. And there are people, communities of people who don't see anything wrong with Boosie's behavior. That's why I say, just because we share identity does not mean, it's a quote. It doesn't come from me. Just because we share identity does not mean we are in community. Just because Boosie is a black man, there's no fucking way I'd be in community with the likes of him at all, or people who agree with him. You don't even see it. I'm just trying to understand why he felt the need to tweet about him walking out of the movie, because he felt it was inappropriate for women to kiss. Y'all okay with women kissing as long as you're in the middle of it. Men are okay with a woman being gay or bisexual or lesbian as long as they can benefit from it. As long as they're able to control it, they don't care about it. And a lot of you women be out here on the weekends being gay and being lesbians for some nigga. What does Rodney say? Y'all be in the break room on Monday still smelling Keisha's poom poom on your top lip. Cause you didn't had your face in between somebody's legs for a nigga. You don't even like women. Oh God. But y'all be gay for a nigga. Gay for pay, gay for a nigga. But then got the nerve to have problems, issues with bisexual men and trans women, and you got your goddamn face in between somebody's legs on the weekend, so your nigga won't leave you, girl. Talking about, what's that smell? What's that smell? That's Katrina and Tanisha on your lip, girl. You had your face in somebody else's box. I'm just confused. Have any of these people read the movie or seen the movie? No, these motherfuckers don't read. Didn't they tell you niggas only got an 8th grade reading level? Y'all ain't read nothing past the goddamn what's a book that you read in junior high school? Lord of the Flies. That's the last book you niggas read. Y'all ain't read shit since the 7th and 8th grade. So no, they definitely didn't read The Color Purple. Definitely a book written by a black woman. Why the fuck a book written by a black woman about the abuse that black women experience at the hands of black men? Do you think they read that book, girl? They know. They over here trying to be like, don't look over there, trying to distract you from other things. And then, you know what? You know a good way they distract you? Speaking of trans women, they pit you against trans women, right? Right? They pit you against trans women. And now all of a sudden you're totally missing the fucking point. Your sisters are dying every 5.5 hours, and you over here. And because we real women, and that real woman equipment hasn't got you a goddamn where, hasn't got you nowhere. So while you throwing your pussy in somebody's face, these niggas is dragging y'all up and down the street, killing y'all every 5.5 hours. Your intimate partners, honey. The niggas that you look for protection and providers. Yes. The ones abusing you. Those are the ones. She ate him up in the second slide, though. His mind won't go far to understand what she's saying. He should just stay out of the conversation about gays altogether, and should have known what he was taking his daughter to see in the begin with. If you read The Color Purple or saw the Steven Spielberg film, then you would know that a kiss happens. So why you took a 9-year-old once to see all this violence, because it is, I don't know about the new film, but the way that Danny Glover was dragging her through that house, and let me tell you something. Somebody posted the part in the original film where Celie was getting ready to shave Mister, and I said to myself, the audacity of these motherfucking men. They will abuse you and not even think far enough that now I'm going to tell you to shave me. I know that I can abuse you to the lengths that I abuse you and still will trust that you won't slit my goddamn throat from ear to ear and that you will save me. When I was a little girl watching that film, baby, when I tell you I had my fingers crossed and I was hoping that Whoopi Goldberg gave Danny Glover a Colombian necktie, girl, from ear to ear. I was praying. I don't know why Suge stopped her from slicing that man's throat. From off with his motherfucking head. Off with his goddamn head. I tell you, when I was a little girl, I was thinking to myself, kill him. Kill his ass. Get his ass. Chop his head off. Put a bucket right behind that chair. And I thought to myself, the audacity. After you done slapped her and beat her, now you tell him, come shave me. And you know you have enough to understand I've abused this woman, and now I'm telling her I'm putting a razor in her hand. You didn't even think that this woman could slice your goddamn head off. And that when I was watching that movie, I just prayed and I was crossing my fingers. I was like, kill his ass. Kill his ass. So y'all obviously haven't seen the movie. Boosie needs to mind his own goddamn business. You're so annoyed by everything queer. You have queer children. You claim to employ queer people, but you just don't agree. Don't agree with what? And then when somebody mentions the way that you've traumatized children while you stand up and act like you want to protect them, and then guess who is in the motherfucking comments? Little Scrappy. A man can't even say his truth. You know, nigga. Yeah, I said to Scrappy, and I tagged him. You know what? I call women dick worshipers all day fucking long, but I forget that you niggas worship dick too. Y'all worship dick just like these motherfucking women worship dick. Y'all be on your goddamn knees gobbling and swallowing all the whole 9.5 on that black ass. Yes. Shout out to Corrupt. Shout out to the Dog Pound. Let me shut up. I was about to say something else. But I'm done with it. I'm glad Madison wrapped his ass up. Don't know about every time you got something to say about LGBTQIA, Maddie is gonna be, we all gonna be right there to be like, we gonna remind you. Just like BET, I don't know who was celebrating Hip Hop 50. Yeah, he was on the stage and everybody just dancing. Wipe me down. Wipe me down. While a few years ago he had his sons assaulted. Wipe me down. No, get the fuck down off the stage. You won't be celebrated. But we live in a community and culture where this kind of shit is celebrated. That's why they're okay with women being abused. That's why when a woman finally says she's being abused, they try to shut her ass up. She's crazy. She don't know why she come out now. Why she come out now? Why she do this? Why she do that? I saw somebody in the comments talking about why Cassie sell her soul to the devil. Girl, y'all are just weird. It's just weird. But like I said, stuck and degenerate. Sick, stuck, and degenerate. For y'all think it's so funny for Boosie to misgender, and then you completely ignore all the other shit. It's sad. It's really sad. It is. Take care of each other, y'all. Protect your energy. Get down in the comments. Let me know if you saw the film, what you think about the film, and let me know what you think about what Boosie and Madison had going back and forth. I think she sealed it. I think she sealed it. She got everything right. She mentioned everything and really brought it back around. Like, let me put this back on you. You're not gonna be able to be like, oh, it's a gay. No, it's a straight agenda. And that's something else that Maddie said. Hold on. She said, let me go to her page. She said, she says the gay agenda, living our lives safely, gay or trans in TV and media representation, respecting people's pronouns, non-discriminatory healthcare and housing. The straight agenda. No gays or trans allowed unless they do hair and makeup, write songs, carry your handbags, stay in the shadows. Let me add this. Make you laugh. Catch that. Stay in the shadows, accept all the pedophilia, straight grooming, molestation to make them men, ways, dope dealing, killing, etc., or simply just be straight. It's clear to me now after reading some of the responses from my post last night. I've gathered these notes from your conversation, and yikes, I can't believe some of you are truly dense, and some of the women who are really missing the point hurt my heart to know many of you are still truly victims of Mr. But the indoctrination disdain for gays and trans keeps you in Mr.'s mental prison. My God. Yes, Maddie. That's what I'm saying. Y'all be so blinded. And then you want to say it's not a phobia. It's very much irrational. Very much so. It's giving irrational. It's giving irrational fear. It's giving that your fear doesn't make sense. I'm not scared. Yes, you are, bitch. Yes, you are scared. You're scared. You're scared. And it's irrational. Your views are irrational. How irrational do you have to be to want to exit a movie theater and ignore all of the abuse, but exit the movie theater when you see the woman being loved by another woman? That's crazy as hell. Anyways, y'all, again, take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Peace.